Hi, everybody. I'm Robin Pearson with A Friend Indeed. This is my first live, so wish me luck. Uh, A Friend Indeed, we provide companionship and in house non medical support for seniors. So we have companion visits with seniors and we do a number of different activities. Today, I wanted to talk about deconstructing an activity and why we do that. Well, if we're visiting somebody who is living with dementia or is living with some other challenges, we want to make sure that they're set up for success. And we do that with different activities and helping them become successful in that. So it's important that they are successful in an activity for anybody, regardless of their health. It's to help them feel good about themselves, feel productive, and provide some meaningful interaction with their friend. So I wanted to share just a couple of stories because I find that stories help to teach and educate. Um, and so, from our past experiences, I remember that there was a lovely lady that I visited a few years ago. And I won't share names. I'll, in fact, make up a name if that comes up. But yeah, I was visiting her, and the first thing that I do is look at what the individual is able to do. So after spending a little bit of time with this person, she lived in a care facility, she was in a wheelchair. She had had a series of small strokes, so her speech was affected. She could say yes, she could say no, and little short phrases. She had a good sense of humor. So spending time with her, I would watch. She wasn't able to pick up small items, but she could hold a cup, she could hold a glass quite easily and drink from it. Those are my nerves talking. So I paid attention to those details and I thought, what could we do together, right? And it occurred to me, what about playing a game of Yahtzee? Now, Yahtzee is a game that's been around for a long time. I grew up with it and it was around a lot longer than I have been. Um, and it's a dice game. Um, and it doesn't matter if it's the first time that you played or the 100th time. Everybody is all on the same playing field. And I was thinking about, how you play and the rules and how that all goes. And then looking at what needs to be in place for her to succeed and still have fun and stay true enough to the game. So I brought the game with me, and anybody who is not familiar with it, it's a cup, and inside are the dice. So that allowed her to hold the cup, give it a shake, and then out rolls the dice into a certain combination. Now, I would keep score, look after all of that. And I know that she did really well when I would, what we call chunking information. So giving her a couple of choices instead of overwhelming with all the different things that we had to accomplish in our game. And by chunking the information, she was able to make a choice. Or if she didn't know, then we could make a suggestion and then go from there. Either way, the game was still moving forward. So we rolled our dice and let it go, and hoot and hollered, and inside, like what I'm bringing to the table is the memories of the games that I had with my family and my dad, right? He would always make this face, kind of like, ooh, his eyebrow would go up, and he'd be like looking like he was strategically trying to get something done. And then when things didn't work out, or yes, or adding that little competition enjoyment factor to it. So we were able to include that. Lots of fun. And yeah, chunking down the information so she could make choices. And this worked out really, really well. So bit by bit, we would get through all the different combinations. Oh, Mary, I'm going to call her Mary. It looks like you've got, a couple of fours and you got a couple of fives. Well, your open house, or pardon me, yeah, full house is available, or you can go for your fours. What would you like to do? And then she would say, and then off we would go. And sometimes it would work out and sometimes it didn't work out, but that's the nature of the game. So we had fun. It was enjoyable. She got to use the dexterity that she had. She got to win against a friend. Or sometimes she didn't. Ha ha ha. But the other thing that opportunity for that activity is what's going on inside. She's making these small decisions on a regular basis. And each time we come back and we're playing either that game or another game or doing something else, right? There's those opportunities for the different firings and use that her brain can do, all disguised under the umbrella of fun with her friend. So deconstructing activities, the loved one that you're caregiving for, what activities used to be in her life or used to be in his life that for whatever reason is no longer there? How could those activities come back into his life in some form or fashion? That's the goal that we have. Yeah, it's a lot of fun and a lot of creativity to uncover that. Another story having to do with deconstructing activities. Again, visiting another lady. She happened to live in a care facility as well. And you know how when you were a kid, most often, well, nowadays everybody's all set up with a box. You pull the plug and it does everything you do, or you press the buttons or whatever. But once upon a time, and when you were a kid, we used our imagination a lot more. You would start with like next to nothing, and then from there you get an idea, and it would build and it would build and it would build, and then the next thing you know, you're having great fun with your friends, and there's laughter, and it's all silly, and it's just enjoyable. So that's what had happened. I brought a balloon. I brought a balloon with me, and one of those balloons that have the elastic to them, and you bop bop bop, right? So I brought one of those because they were a little bit more heavy duty, and they were also bigger too. And I took off the elastic and blew it up. And I thought, oh, my lady and I, we can just hit it back and forth. That'll be, good exercise and so forth. It's pretty common, actually, in facilities, and there's nothing wrong with it. It is lots of fun. Well, we took it a step further. We drew a face on it, gave him a name. I think his name was Robert. And then, of course, there's all sorts of little comments about Robert and, all of this, which had a few laughs and giggles. And we started hitting it back and forth. And it was fun, for a little while. But it would be a lot more fun if there was more people. Well, looking down the hall, there was another resident just by herself. And, hey, Victoria, can you come? We need another person. The look on her face, did you want to come play with us? Okay. So we could have her come over and get a seat, and now there's the three of us. That's better. Oh, a few more people come over. Now we're in this common area, and there is a few people. Now, this is before the pandemic, so I'm sure it'll be a little bit different now. But anyhow, the finer details of the story is what I'm trying to get at here. So anyhow, I think there was about 5 of us in a circle, a distance apart, hitting this balloon back and forth. And of course, I'm the one running if somebody misses or if it's bouncing down the hallway or whatever. So I got a good exercise out of that. And anyhow, we're hitting this back and forth and laughing. Well, sure enough, there's I don't know if you call them the custodian, housekeeping. Anyhow, there was this gal. I'm sure she was lovely, but word on the street was that she was a little bit of a sourpuss, and she was pushing her cart, and it was kind of mentioned, oh, here she comes. And we were playing right in that main area, so she would actually have to go right through our playing ground. And anyhow, I had said to the group, okay, 10 points if we hit her with the balloon. Of course, everybody is in an uproar now. I mean, we're not meaning any harm or foul or anything like that. So, but this is now the inside joke. So we're hitting, accidentally, tapped her on the head or on the back or something, and then we'd giggle. Just some lighthearted fun. Some lighthearted fun and a little bit of noise in a care facility that's normally pretty quiet. When we got tired, when my lady got tired, then, we shut it down and went on, with something a little bit quieter. But again, going back to that deconstructing an activity, allowing for the individual that you're playing with to be successful, to have a whole lot of fun, to bring the, extraordinary into an ordinary day. It's so beneficial in so many ways. That story of the balloons. You think about the physical activity. Think about the enjoyment. Think about the response and reactivity, reflexes that's needed. Everything firing in their brains. It was wonderful. I would do that again in a heartbeat, and I'm sure that the housekeeping lady wouldn't have mind if she was let in on our inside joke. So yeah, I do encourage you to look at the activities that your loved one is doing and how could they be up-leveled by being deconstructed. I hope you enjoyed my stories, and I'm really interested in providing them on a regular basis. And I really hope that there is a nugget that a caregiver, a family caregiver who is looking out for their aging loved one can use. Anyhow, That's all for now, and thank you very, very much for joining me. I appreciate that. If you want to learn more about A Friend Indeed, feel free to visit our website at getafriendindeed.com. Again, I'm Robin Pearson, and thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.